for an adoption of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the adoption of the agenda?
I will second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we will move to the approval of the February 8th, 2022 meeting minutes as presented.
It looked, I wasn't there, but it looked okay to me. I'll approve it.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we'll move on to the financial report.
Okay, you have a copy of the financial report for February. And looking at the, generally in terms of that report, currently there's in checking account, Tomahawk Community Bank, $143,171.34. Savings account, $189,857.44. And then in the local government pool, where the majority of the money is obviously in the best investment opportunity, currently there's $14,131,995. And according to Sandy, this is the highest it's going to be throughout the year, because the tax money, initial tax payments have come in now, so that's the reason for it. And if you look at the next page, that has the expenditures for February. You know, like we've said before, things are pretty much, I guess the next page is revenues. Let me do that one first. The revenues, again, are, you know, tracking pretty much as expected. I don't think there's any surprises there or anything unusual. One thing I could point out is in terms of Fund 10, in February 2022, it has a total of a little over $4 million of revenue, and in February 2021, a little over $5 million. Well, that has to do with the tax revenue that was, you know, taken off the board because of the failed referendum, basically. That's a good part of that, so that's why that looks a little different than from the previous year. And then looking at the expenditures, I guess the only real thing to note here is that in Fund 50, which is the food service fund, there were payments to Taher of $152,572.85. Basically, there's 2 months in there of expenditure. It's usually around $70,000 to $80,000 per month, but that particular month there were two expenditures for the month of January and February, I believe. So that's about it for that.
I have a question just looking at it. When you look at, like at Fund 20, I'm sorry, I can't get my page to rotate. Fund 20, is it like it costs the school district almost $1 million above than what we get for revenue for special ed? For, just if I'm reading that right.
What's that?
You know, when we take in for revenue.
Yep.
Altogether, Fund 20, it's February. 663,000, and so far year to date, just that, I want to make sure, it's 153. So it's cost us $1 million just for special ed for the year. Am I reading that?
Year to date, 21, 20. Well, this would be, what you need, well, I guess there is a gap, but the difference would be 663, because that would be year to date there. And compared to 1 million, that's where you're getting the $1 million from.
Yeah.
I'm
just kidding. I mean, it costs the school district a lot for the.
Well, absolutely.
To cover a lot there.
For special education, but I'm not sure all the revenues are in. You know,
Okay.
I'm not sure how that's tracking.
Okay.
At different
Just
times of the
curious.
year, so we could check on that, but that could be a factor in that.
When we get the payments from the federal?
Right.
Okay. Where do ESSER funds show up? What fund, is that go into different funds?
That would just be, I believe, Fund 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
just in that version.
Yeah. Another thing that could impact what, that Fund 20 would be state aid payments, because you do get reimbursed for special education, partly for state aid as well.
From state.
Or through state aid.
But you probably don't get reimbursed for it till you spend it, which would be account for part of the gap.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
you're trying to see how much we actually put out for that. That was my only question.
I don't have any questions about the finance report. Next, we'll move to the review of the expenditures from February 9th to March 8th, 2022.
Right, there's just a few of these that I could point out. On the first page, number 51,626, that was the cost of gas for heat for the month of February. So for the month of March, luckily, we locked the price in. So for the month of March, we
Yeah.
shouldn't see the spike that that could be there if you didn't lock it in. And so that should help out a little bit. What else?
Wow.
There's one here that Sandy explained to me, which is just such a minor amount, but it's still, it's 51,628. For some reason, you know, the school district has to pay a tax of, it's only $5, but on, it's for a septic fee
At the portable school?
as part of there's a part of the school district forest. One part is in Oneida County. So as a result of that, somehow the district has to pay an annual fee for septic up there. And
Yeah.
it's only $5, but quite honestly, I haven't heard of such a thing.
That's an annual fee of $5?
Yes.
It costs more in mailing.
You know, and it has to be based on whatever the rules are, of course, but that's one that I thought was interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Well, on the next page, this would be page 3, about halfway down, 51,645. There's two billings there. One is for $125 for a gate on the dumpster, and I guess that's going to be reimbursed by the company. And then there's another one, American Fence, and that was for repair, I believe, as a result of the tree damage when they had that windstorm 2-3 months ago.
Wow.
And that's a $1,500 charge, but that should be reimbursed by the insurance company. So that's just another one that kind of stood out.
Badger sporting apparel.
On page, I think we mentioned this one maybe at a previous meeting, but on page, I don't know if I have my page number here, but anyway, it's number 51,666. There was a company hired because of all the issues related to the controls in the building, there was a company hired to reset those back to their original setting. And this is part of the $13,836 is part of that work. It's been done in stages. So that's what that one is for. Other than that, I don't know, those are kind of the main ones. I guess unless there's some questions perhaps. Again, I think overall, the expenditures and everything, I mean, they're pretty much in line with what the budget projection was at this point. As every year, hoping to you know, kind of save some money along the way here as we go. So we'll see what the end looks like, but, as of right now, I guess what I wanna say is we don't see anything that's gonna take us over the budget by any means. Should pretty much be in line with what was projected.
And with the bus company, we're locked in on a contract that they can't raise the price just because the gas went up, can they? That should be a set contract.
I'd have to look at the contract. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know if it's in this one, but sometimes there are escalation clauses,
Okay.
depending on the price. So I'd have to check that out.
I do have one question on page 7, on 51709 for Merrill Area Public Schools. What is the NAC tuition?
Page 7.
Yeah.
That is for, there are, like, I believe there's 3 students right now that are going to that school.
Okay.
In Merrill.
The virtual school? No?
There's a private
Uh,
academy
Is
no.
it
there.
Bridges Academy?
Bridges?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's
No.
not Bridges.
No,
No?
it's the NAC.
NAC is, it's a, well, I don't know what the acronym actually comes for. We have 3 students that have higher behaviors, and that's a school specially designed to
Right.
get them reacclimated back into the regular school system.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions?
Jeffrey, just to add to that,
Yeah.
that's a 27, that's a, comes out of our special education budget.
Okay.
That's not attendance.
The 27,
Northern Achievement Center.
Northern Achievement Center. Wow. No, I don't, Jeffrey.
I will adjourn the meeting at 6:42.